All right, welcome back to the Irrelevant Podcast. Just a couple of schmucks talking puck. What's going on there? I'm Paul. That's my secret FBI agent, Saddam Hussein killing, Bin Laden killing co-host. Chief, how are you, my friend? This is why he can't be on camera, folks. He's an agent. He's a SEAL. He's a Green Beret. I think he's also in the Coast Guard somehow.
Space Force.
He's a five tool assassin. How are you doing there, Chief?
I'm a five-tool bathroom assassin. That's about it.
So how you doing, my friend?
I'm really good, brother. How are you?
Man, listen, I can't complain. Life is going good, and you know what? Life can't get better for Martin Necas. Hey, what's up, DC? Appreciate you popping in, my friend. Martin Necas signs an 8-year deal worth 11.5 AAV. That man just got paid. And I'll ask the Leafs fan here on the panel, what do you think of that deal?
The Leafs fan?
I'm sorry, the
Wow.
Avalanche fan on this panel. Sorry, I did not mean to
that's-
disparage you that way.
Dude, that's the meanest thing you've ever said to me.
I know, and I've said some pretty mean things. But what do you think of this deal?
I like it. After that snipe, what was that, last week against Carolina? What'd I say? Sign that man.
No, you did. You did. That was a nasty snipe.
Yeah. It's a good deal for us. It's going to make the Kale deal a little more interesting.
100%.
Because I guess they're hedging their bets that the cap's going to go up, and yeah, I was overjoyed. I was actually running arrows when I first heard it, and I was just like, "What?"
The interesting part of this deal, and they put this in the article for the contract on Sportsnet. When the contract kicks in, starting in 2026 to 27, Necas will count 11.5 million against the cap annually. That is $500,000 less than Mikko Rantanen. Now that is, I think, going to be the storyline to me when it comes to this deal, because Rantanen's gone. He gets dealt, sent to the Shadow Realm, and then he goes to Dallas eventually. And to me, when I look at it, you bring in Necas. We were just having this conversation. You asked, what did you ask me? I'll let you talk.
I thank you. At this point, who would you rather have? McKinnon, or I mean not McKinnon, but Rantanen with his $12 million contract, or Necas with his $11.5 million deal?
For me, it's I love Necas' game, and I thought there was always more there in Carolina, and then that last year there in Carolina, he was like taking off finally. I would say because of the speed and ability, there's a lot of interest there, but I still have a lot of respect for what Rantanen is and brings forth as a player. So if I'm just comparing as players individually, I still would give the edge to Rantanen because he's provided a lot more offensively throughout his career and still is going to be probably around a 100-point player himself. But it's not like it's a massive downgrade in Necas. If anything, at his age of 26, he can just keep extending and maybe makes it look like, hey, maybe the Avalanche picked the better player in the long run. But one thing you said, and I'll ask you this, you're the one who said, who would you prefer, a McKinnon and Rantanen pairing or a McKinnon and Necas? I kind of go with the guys that won the cup, So I'll always kind of go with Rantanen and McKinnon until I see Necas win one with McKinnon. But what are your thoughts?
I think Necas is a better fit for McKinnon due to the speed, the burst, the ability to shoot the puck. Granted, a much smaller sample size than Natty Mac and Mikko.
Right.
I mean, they were great together. But from what little I've seen, poof da.
Yeah.
If I'm a goalie and I see those two barreling down on me with only one defenseman in front of me, I'm not enthused about my position at that moment.
No, I saw it firsthand. Like when you beat my Bruins, the first game of the first matchup of the season, like a redheaded stepchild, and how fast you guys were. And the one thing that I have noticed watching the Avalanche is because of that speed that they have in that lineup, the second period, why I think they're outscoring teams heavily is because they're just so fast. And they, even if it's a long change, they can get to the bench quickly change out.
Yeah.
It becomes a long slog against a team like the Avalanche that are just so fast out there. I mean, I think with a guy like Necas and McKinnon, if the Avalanche can just play a solid 200-foot game, Landeskog can keep contributing. They're a tough team to play, especially with now. I mean, Wedgwood's done well for them, but once Blackwood comes back, that's a scary team. That's a very scary team.
It is, and then we'll get Logan O'Connor back here in a couple 3 weeks, and that just adds to the bottom end. I went to the game Tuesday night when they played the Devils, and that first period and a half until the Devils made that pretty frightening comeback. Their speed, and they were getting secondary scoring, and if they could get secondary scoring, that's bad for everybody else.
100%, and that's one of my only question marks when it comes to the Avalanche is can they get enough secondary scoring when they make it into the playoffs? I think you can easily make the playoffs with the team you have on the ice, but it comes into those bigger moments when people start keying on McKinnon and Necas. Can you have other guys step up? That's going to be extremely important. It really will be important to the success of their of how deep they go. But I've liked some of the additions, and who knows? Maybe they can make a minor move here to get another player in here. Just maybe bring Charlie Coyle, your favorite player, back.
Shut up.
Second go round.
Shut up. Wait, are we past the 2 minutes so I can drop the C word for Charlie?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. It's fastest.
Fucking cunt Coyle.
Yeah.
I fucking hate him. Fucking pylon.
He's not a fan of Coyle. He didn't like Coyle before he was on the Avalanche. Didn't like him when he was on the team. Doesn't like him after. He's not been a big. I think you like Charlie Coyle as much as you like Lindros.
Almost. Almost. Coyle's almost in Lindros territory, but
that's crazy. Yeah. That's absolutely crazy. You know what is crazy? I will say this is the start of the season that the Utah Mammoth have had. They are absolutely crushing it. They're doing extremely well. Let me.
They've got a lot of young kids that have bought in. Yeah. We lost them in overtime last week, and I wouldn't want to see them in the playoffs in a 7-game series.
No, they're
going to be troublesome.
The one thing here, and let me kind of zoom in just a tiny bit here to make this a little bit more easy to see on the stream. So you got the Utah Mammoth with an 8-3 record, 16 points, leading the Central, or tied for elite. Well, they have the tiebreakers and more wins. So the Central Division is a division that has it's pretty deep for the most part. I'll kind of break it down here in divisions. So essentially you got the Mammoth, the Avalanche, the Jets, the Stars, Blackhawks, Predators, Wild. But it was a little bit top heavy. I imagine the Stars, it's not been a terrible start, but I imagine they'll be in there. But I think Utah could be one of these teams that surprise you and could make the playoffs this year. I don't know as the 1 seed, but maybe a third or wild card spot.
Yeah.
I mean,
as underwhelming as Minnesota and St. Louis have been so far.
And congratulations to Montgomery. Enjoy the fucking shit show you joined. But yeah. I lost a lot of respect for Montgomery as a coach, the way he left the Bruins and how he did it, the way he did it. So enjoy the shit show, you piece of shit. Anyways, when it comes down to it, we're the Relevant Podcast. You can say what we truly feel. Yeah. I think when I look at the Utah Mammoth, the one question mark I do have, looking at this lineup, I think you got a good, top 6. Some young players that I think, like you said, are buying in. It's going to be very important for a guy like, Peterka, Cooley. Again, they're come in, keep producing. Defense is solid with Sergachev, guy they obviously brought over from Tampa Bay. Was that a couple seasons ago at this point?
That other kid, the rookie, the Russian kid that's a rookie, I can't think of his name, Semenov or something like that?
Simashev or something like that, Dmitry.
Yeah. Did you know he's actually Sergachev's roommate?
Probably because they can both like speak Russian, so that would make
Yeah.
sense. You get a veteran in there, and Sergachev's not even that old. He's like just 27, so he's
Yeah.
entering. He's still entering like very early in his prime for a defenseman. The one question mark I have though for them is the goaltending.
Yeah.
Is
Is
Vemelka and
Vamelka? Nope.
Vanacek gonna be in it? Because Vanacek's been the better the it's smaller sample size, been the better goaltender statistically. We have kind of seen where Vanacek led teams go, and that's nowhere. Vamelka is one of these goaltenders that has been was on a bad Coyotes team for years. Had some very good seasons, but recently kind of tapered off a bit. Is he going to be good enough to really sustain success? Are they going to be able to continue to outscore some of their problems? Will they tighten up defensively where they make it a little bit easier for their goaltender? Or is there a goaltender that they can maybe go out there, shop, and try to get? I just don't believe. It's hard for me to believe in the Mammoth just for this one singular reason. I don't trust the goaltending. I just don't.
I knew you were going there, and I'm right there with you. Unless they prove it to the rest of the season, put up solid numbers, over 900 save percentage, right around 2.25, 2.5 goals against. That's the only way they're going to stay where they are,
Yeah.
floating around that top, is the goaltending. And
Yep.
Vamelka, the last week, he looked pretty good against the Avs. So, I mean, that's a flash of brilliance. I mean, he
He
did give
Vam-
up 3 or 4, but still,
Vamelka can be a good goalie. He
yeah.
can be an extremely good goalie, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how things work out there because I don't know. I think if they're going to make a run, they're going to have to make a move there for a goalie somewhere. Like maybe a struggling team that has kind of a veteran that's a little like average to above average that can really be solid. But I mean, hey, Vanacek at one point was looked at as like an average NHL goaltender. Maybe he can revive his career. We have seen goaltenders go other places, but
Yeah.
I like the youth. I like the upfront. I like the top six. I like the decor for the most part, but the goaltending does have me worried because are you going to get the best version of Vemelka? That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Vemelka when he's cooking is great, but then it's those off nights where he lets in these weak ones and they squeak through. I'm like, need a save, need safe,
Yeah.
like Jared, like me screaming at the TV at Jeremy Swayman every game he plays. So I I think when it comes down to it, that's going to be interesting to go talk about. Now, DC actually asked thoughts on Lucic playing for St. Louis. I just kind of looked into it. He signed a PTO. I think it expired, so I don't know if that will happen or not. But I mean, two shitheads can enjoy each other there in St. Louis if he does go there. Um, I'm just being real.
I just can I tell you how much love I'm feeling right there?
No, like I just to me, throw him in the dumpster. Good luck. Appreciate what you did, but I wouldn't piss on you to put. If you were on fire, I wouldn't piss on you to put it out. So when it comes to
Jesus.
I mean, listen, I just how I feel. All right, let's talk about this. Defensively, the Boston Bruins are terrible, awful, garbage. I think
They're
I've
not
seen
good.
Mike Hockey play better than the Bruins in their own end. Now they won against the Islanders, but congratulations. I think the Jimmy Fund team could beat the Islanders. They're like that's congratulations. One of the worst defensemen in the NHL currently is Mason Lohrei. He is awful, and he is terrible. The only thing that he has that's upside to him is his offensive capability, and you can help create 3 goals, but if you let in 8, it don't matter. And
Yep.
I think for me with the Bruins, and this is going to be a hot take, I think Mason Lohrei is awful, and I also think Charlie McAvoy is the worst number 1 defenseman in the NHL. Terrible.
Ooh.
He's garbage. He's been playing like garbage. He played better like against the Islanders. I know the Bruins changed its system. They don't play as much man this season. I understand it's a little bit different now under Sturm, but my God, you're getting paid quite a bit of money and you can't do anything right. And it's just basic hockey sense where I don't know, sometimes when paired with Laura, I don't know if it like Lorai's shittiness is contagious and it just rubs off on anyone he plays with. But I have like McAvoy has been god awful. The best version of McAvoy is when he plays physical, defensively, and realizes he's not the second coming of Ray Bork. He's not Cale McCarr. You know, I have seen so many, like him trying to be way too involved in the offense, and I get it as a defenseman, you want some help, I get that. This Bruins team doesn't have a plethora of snipers out there. But I also don't need McAvoy pinching and having Pasternak on defense. That is just a recipe for disaster, but he's been the worst number one defenseman in the NHL by far. He's terrible.
Well, I have a question for you.
Go ahead, shoot.
Is it him being terrible or the system not working with the way he plays?
I think it's a mixture of both because I think at some point as a professional, you need to learn how to adjust. I think when it comes down to it, though, I will say this. I think Sturm will probably have to go back to the system or a similar system that they ran before. I just don't think he has the personnel to run what they need and to be successful at it. I just have seen way too many simple defensive breakdowns that just, I'm like, how does this happen? Like, how are you this far out of position? Like, is this new system really that big of an issue that you can't grasp it? And Sturm has mentioned in some post-game, like, well, we can't practice because there's so many game after game after game because of the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
But so maybe he switches back to what they did last year system-wise. But regardless, you're a professional. You got to get it done. And there's no excuses. And I think that I could understand a little bit of adjustment, but how bad he's played has been embarrassing. And
because the first three games, defensively, they were good.
Because they bought in. Because everybody actually bought into the system, but because I think old habits die hard, everybody wants to do their own thing, guys kind of got away from that. This Bruins team isn't going to win outscoring their problems. I mean, for fuck's sakes, they got into a shootout with the Anaheim Ducks 7-5, and it makes it for some, I guess, entertaining hockey, but the Bruins aren't built to be in shootouts like that. Like, they're going to lose.
Yeah.
Like, they might score, but they're not going to keep up with it because it gets loosey-goosey. They just don't have that firepower. If they're going to win, it's going to be kind of like what you saw when they beat the Avs the other night. Like, okay, we're going to get outshot. We're probably even going to get outplayed. But goaltending, defense, blocking shots is how we'll kind of squeak out some wins. That's how this kind of team is constructed. And you got to just accept that.
So I just be a devil's advocate. So what do you think happened after the third game? They didn't really play any duds those first three games. They played pretty good teams.
I think what happened is that old habits came in and died. I mean, old habits came back. And I also think that I think some players, like a guy like McAvoy, think they can do more than what they're truly talented able. More than what their talent actually allows them to do at the NHL level. It's the NHL. Well, my screen give out there for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
But we're irrelevant.
I'm sitting here. It doesn't matter. I'm sitting here. My fat ass is sitting in front of a computer talking to you about hockey. My great days are past me. I understand that, but I just don't think it's acceptable with how bad he's been. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
My third and final devil's advocate question: are they gonna? Do you think to be more effective, they're gonna have to go back to what they were doing last year?
What and get like the sixth over, like, and be terrible? Like, it wasn't effective. Like, it just wasn't.
I mean, so you saying that their professionals have to change. Also, the same thing goes for the coach.
Fair.
So I think they need to really figure out, take about 3 or 4 games, and pretty much realize that they're going to fuck the dog, and figure out what they're going to have to play zone, man, what's going to work for them.
Right. I mean, I think when it comes down to it, and this is the big thing, right? I have not believed in Mason Lorai at all defensively. I think there. I think his best option to play at the NHL is to probably move to the wing or something. I just don't think he has the defensive instincts. He hasn't bulked up at all. He's not like he's very thin. I think it's just he's small. Like he's tall, but he's small. If that makes sense. Very like
Yeah,
slight player, and he just doesn't have the defensive awareness. And maybe that could come with time. But you had an AHL defenseman come in, like I think Aspero's like 26, I think 26, 27, career AHLer. He comes up the NHL level, looked so much better than Lorai defensively. He doesn't have the offensive upside, obviously, because he's more of a stay-at-home defenseman. It's like, if an AHL's outplaying you defensively, we have some problems here.
yeah.
You know? And Aspero had a good camp. I'm not taking anything away from him. But, come on. So, that's my rant. I had to get off my chest, my therapy
We need,
session.
I need to buy you like a box that you can put next to your monitor that just has like a ramp on and off switch.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Speaking of teams, players that aren't getting respect, Tavares, does he deserve more respect?
Absolutely. The
And
guy scored. The guy scored his 500th last night in a game that nobody cared about because everybody was watching the Blue Jays beat the Dodgers.
yep,
And is that one of the more quiet 500 goals you've ever seen?
honestly, probably just because of everything. Like it's kind of not his fault. I mean,
No.
they were in Columbus, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't even know they've had fans. But I think no, I'm joking. I'm joking, Jackets fans, relax. But no, I think with 500, like, does he deserve a little bit more respect? Absolutely. I think he's one of
Yeah.
these. I think he's one of these guys that because because he's been there in Toronto so long, and they've had the collapses, and they've lost, and there's been issues and things of that uh, nature, right? I think that's just unfortunately, if until they win a cup, or if he doesn't win a cup, he's never going to be properly respected. Is he a hockey Hall of Famer? Because I think he is, right? You'd have to
I think he
say,
is. I think he is. If he wins a cup, he's definitely in. But he's not gonna. It's not gonna happen while he's in Toronto. That whole team is a dumpster fire.
so. And this brings into a greater conversation of what we had, right? So we'll go into Tavares kind of being a little bit not respected, even by his own fan base at times. It's kind of ridiculous. Do you believe this Toronto team has enough to win a cup this year?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs.
Whoa.
I mean, they are so mid. They'll probably go. They'll probably make the playoffs as like a wild card. But you have Pittsburgh playing fantastic hockey right now. Tampa's going to come back.
Tampa's Tampa's
Ottawa's
been
probably
bouncing back. Yeah.
yeah. Ottawa's probably not going to do anything unless because they don't have Brady Kachuk for what another 2 months.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think you're right. I
Um,
mean, well, don't tell
they,
that. Don't tell my Bruins team that they got spanked by him. Continue.
yeah, because and Shane Pinto's played over his head for Ottawa, but with Pittsburgh doing better, who's not going to make it though out of the East? The the Rangers probably not. Ottawa probably not. I mean, we can unless there's like some miracle in Buffalo in the next 4 months, they're probably not going to make it.
I mean, I would love to see Buffalo make it. I think.
I would I would
Yeah.
too. I
Yeah.
would love to see Buffalo make it. Fantastic fan base. And if they made it, it'd be like them winning a cup.
Yeah. No, it would be. I mean, because. Yeah, it would be good for that fan base because it's been so long since they've actually won a cup, and I mean, even made the playoffs. I should say, not a
Yeah.
cup. But I think the Islanders. Islanders, I don't see it. Bruins, I don't see it. Rangers, I don't really see it. Lightning, I do. I could see them making it. Buffalo, I think they could be. It depends. Like what version of Buffalo shows up. That's the biggest thing for me.
Well, it's
Um,
the Buffalo team that's going to show up. They'll be like a dozen points out with like 2 weeks left, and then they'll go on a miraculous tear and
and
be
then
like
just miss.
and just miss by like 1 or 2 points. It's like it's. I think in the past like 4 or 5 years, it's happened like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I remember some years where they've started out extremely hot, like, oh yeah, this is the year, and then just whoop right back in the dumpster.
Yeah.
Ottawa, it depends on health. Philly, I think they're still a little green. So then you got the Capitals, the Jackets, which I mean, eh. But you know, I do think Toronto makes it as like at least a wild card. The one thing though, right? They kind of benefit. Florida's been dinged up to all hell, and the Florida's going to be kind of a weaker team because you're missing Barkov, obviously. You're missing Matthew Kachuk. Kachuk brothers just can't, catch a break. And it just seems like attrition's kind of kicking in for the Panthers.
Well, they've played in 3 straight finals the past 3 years.
Yeah, it's
That's a
just a
lot of
matter.
hockey.
Dude, that is so much hockey. So I'm not speaking ill of them. I'm just saying this might be the year where it's like, kind of a lot of miles. Might need a break. And
Yeah.
I don't think they miss, but it could be a little bit lower, so it gives them a chance.
Yeah.
Uh, I think it's going to be interesting here is if Montreal, because they have a lot of young talent. I've spoken very glowingly about them in the offseason with their prospects and their future and their system. Montreal has all the tools and everybody in the system to be a fantastic team. Can their youth keep playing well, and will this be the year you see the maturation of like, all right, guys, like we made it last year in the playoffs, like we're a playoff team going forward. That's going to be very interesting to see.
Well,
Because you go when you go for, can you be just the scrappy underdog, or can you become a consistent like performer? And so far they have been.
can I tell you something that would make me just smile?
What?
Is to see Montreal play Toronto in the first round, and Montreal absolutely just handle them, and watch just the Toronto fans just absolutely melt down because they, lose gentleman's sweep first round to Montreal.
Listen, I think Toronto's window's closed.
Yeah, it'd be
Uh,
Vancouver 2011 all over again.
I think when it comes down to it, Toronto's just not it. I think that
No,
they lost
that
Marner, and as everybody wants to bag on Marner, but they lost some talent, and the proof is in the pudding, right? With that core,
yeah,
can't win the big games, can't win the big
no.
series, just can't do it.
It's Toronto is Edmonton East with no goaltending. Stolars, Wall,
I mean, to be fair, I would take Stolars and Wall over fucking Stuart Skinner. They're a lesser version of the Oilers. The Oilers at least made the finals.
yeah.
So I mean, I'm just being real there. I mean, Stolars had a good year. I don't know exact stats. I'll even look at it right now, top of my noggin. But I think that yeah, there's some truth to that parallel.
So now that we've completely strayed off the original thing, I have one question for you to kind of bring this back around.
Oh, it's Primo. That's
Does
right. He's playing. Go ahead.
does Tavares have to get traded to another team to win a cup?
Does Tavares have to go to another team to win a cup? Yes, because it's not happening in Toronto. But does he do
Uh-huh.
that? Does he just like want to constantly wear his Toronto footy pajamas and be known for that? I don't know. But
I think the man wants a cup. If say I don't know what Tavares' deal looks like. He's got to be coming to the end of it though.
yeah,
I think he's probably if he has more than 3 years on his deal, I'd be guessing more closer to 2. Say somebody like Dallas says, "Hey, you want to come win a cup?" Would he go?
probably. I mean, why wouldn't he? But would this is another question because I think this is his last year of his deal. Let me look at Puckpedia real quick. I think this is the last year of his deal, if I'm correct. No, I'm incorrect. Oh yeah, because he signed another deal. That's right. So yeah, because last year was okay. Yeah. So he's only making 4.3 mil. That's right, because he signed in the. I'm sorry, I forgot. Um, if I'm the Dallas, if I'm Dallas, if I'm a team that needs a center that can not be a number one anymore, but a solid two, I'd give him a ring. If I'm Tavares, I'd be like, listen, man, like this team's dog shit. I'm never gonna win. I need to go somewhere else.
You know who could use a second or third line center? Us. I'd be okay with them in an Avs uniform.
What would you give up? Like, the one thing is like, what would the Maple Leafs want for him?
Oh, the Maple Leafs would want the Sun, Moon, and Stars because they're all morons. But I could see, give them somebody young like Ross Colton and a draft pick.
Would you give up a first for Tavares?
No, second.
Second.
Ross Colton in a second, and I would make that happen. I like Ross Colton a lot.
Yeah.
Ross Colton's still young, and he's not a big scorer. He's got grit. He can score. He's got fairly good hands.
Mm.
But it's just like, hey, we'll take the contract. We'll give you a second round draft pick in Colton and maybe a prospect.
Yeah.
And I could.
Yeah.
And then you know what? He's got all that firepower ahead of him, and he's just got to go out there and just score, do his thing. I'd be happy with him on a line with O'Connor and frickin' who else get pushed back there? I'd have to look, but yeah, third line center or even second, and let Gabe go back to the third line and just let him beat the hell out of people. Absolutely.
I mean, shoot. I mean, if they could somehow make that happen,
I'd be all in. Hell yeah.
It would be a terrific friggin' get for the Avalanche or any team that's looking for a guy.
Well, yeah. I mean, not just my team, but any team in general. Hell, I know who could definitely use it. Florida.
I don't think they could even make room for the 4. That's the problem. I think they're pretty straight up.
Yeah.
They're pretty up against the cap. I'd actually.
Or what about?
Look at.
Or interesting because we seem to like, the hypothetical trades for this team. What about Anaheim?
Listen, Anaheim's got plenty of cap space. And
they do have plenty of cap space and plenty of young guys to trade in.
And then the crazy thing is, you got some UFA situations kind of coming up, but funny enough, Kreider gets off the books and then some of these guys get off the books in a couple of years. It's going to open up oh, Jesus Christ. That's going to open up another 18 mil. 18 points. Yeah, that's 12, 12.5. So 17.5 mil with Strome, Killorn, and Kreider. So it's just, I mean, I think when it comes down to it, the Ducks would be an interesting situation. There's some teams out there, if they have, if they're contenders. If I'm the Ducks, I'll say this, this is kind of getting a little off track, but we'll just kind of keep with this. We don't give a fuck. We're irrelevant. Who cares? When it comes down to it, if I can get Tavares on the Ducks and I'm a true contender, I'm playing good all season, add a little bit of veteran leadership. I mean, he's not a winner, but you can add some proven point production and a guy that's been there, done that, kind of learn hey, don't do this, learn from my fuck ups and then get some success. I mean, hey, could be a nice boost. I'm not trying to poo-poo Tavares, but I mean, I can't sit here and be like, teach him how to win, boys, when he couldn't do it. So, but he's probably a great guy, but, I'm not going to sit here. You can do it, boys. I believe in you. Do what we couldn't do. What is
that, the Mickey Mouse of hockey? Jesus Christ.
But, when it comes down to it, it could be a good get. I would love to see the Ducks also make the playoffs this year. That'd be a fun thing.
I still think they're going to do it.
I think they could too. I do think they
really do.
I think they definitely. I mean, let me look right now because I'll share this tab before I kind of switch to the last topic of the show, which is going to be fun for me. I mean, the Ducks are currently 5-3-1, 11 points. They're right around the wild card. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if Blackhawks sustain this. I would love to see the Ducks really have a good run here and just make the playoffs. It'd be great.
Yeah.
You want to go into the last subject?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to... All right, so this is everybody's favorite player.
Hold on to your hats, kids. Here it comes.
Trent Frederick proving the haters right. He sucks. He sucks. He has been one of the most overrated players in Bruins history. He got into one fight that he jumps a guy. He has a glass jaw, gets beaten like an unwanted stepchild in every fight. And for some reason, Bruins fans loved him. He had that one good year. And let me bring it up on screen. Good old Trenny Frederick. 11 games played, 1 goal, 0 assists for 1 point, -1. If you're on a McDavid team, if you've ever played with McDavid, you only get 1 point, you should get fired into the sun. Like, goodbye. Like, you don't deserve to be here anymore. Because I am tired of Frederick off of I'll give him 2 seasons out of the rest of them being shit. Like, I am tired of it. I'm tired of the Frederick defenders. He's a third line at best type player that is not good. If Zach Hyman, I'm going to make this very clear. If Zach fucking Hyman can just tap up with his stick to score 50, how difficult is it to play with McDavid? And Frederick couldn't do that. Like, they wouldn't put him up there, let him score goals. Like, I know McDavid, I think he scored a couple in the last couple of games or so, but I know at one point he only had 1 goal, but he's still over a point per game on the season. Like, he's been more of a facilitator. But if you're Frederick and you are blessed to play with McDavid or a Draisaitl or some of the team on there, and you can only get a goal, like, send him to the KHL, send him to Siberia. He's terrible. He's awful.
It's funny you mention this because we kind of have a meh game tonight, or mid, as the kids like to say. How about this for the Mediocrity Cup tonight? The Rangers in Edmonton tonight.
The battle of the suck.
Yes, the battle for mediocrity.
Who's gonna suck who first? No, but I think I think when it comes down to it, I think frankly he's been an unmitigated disaster over there, and maybe he plays himself out of it and gets 10 points on the season. But, I don't know. I just don't see it. I've just always Bruins fans loved him, man. Like, it was crazy. Like, they acted like he was Milan Lucic, right? And like some would even compare him at times. Like, listen, I don't like Lucic as a wife-beating scumbag, but when he was playing on the ice, the dude could, like, when in his prime, and he could
make it happen.
He was a really good player. He brought physicality. I even thought Lucic underperformed for what his potential was. But Lucic was a solid player, and I thought it was an insult people would compare, like, Frederick to Lucic at times. And no way.
No.
Like,
no.
And like, when Lucic got into fights, he made the other guy look miserable. When Frederick got into fights, you felt bad for Frederick. Like, oh, man, like, how many punches can a face take? I guess, like, I'll give him that. That was his best attribute. He had a strong jaw. Outside of that, he had no.
Kind of.
Any other thing you want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, I think it's pretty good. I think we've done enough damage for today.
All right, sounds good to me. So I appreciate DC popping in. I saw you, Horse. I appreciate you popping in as well. Or sorry, Sergeant Rock. And,
much love, brother.
Glad to do you well, man. I'm glad. I talked to him the other day. He's doing really fucking well. That's great. I'm glad to hear, man. Prayers.
Miss you, brother.
Appreciate it. Send some prayers our way to our brother there, Sergeant Rock. And, great dude. And I'm
Gilles
glad
Meloche.
Gilles Meloche, the greatest goaltender in NHL history, according to Sergeant Rock. And, I think when it comes down to it, it's been an entertaining season. I'd like to have more of these episodes, like a couple a week. We'll do some live. If you guys like the live shows, I got to kind of start being a little bit more consistent with the schedule. I'm going to figure out a schedule, and then we can kind of go from there. But it was great, as always, talking some hockey shop with you there, Chief.
Hell yeah, brother.
Listen, if we can get some sponsors here, some Miller Lite. What's your beverage of choice here? What's your beverage of choice?
Well, I mean, I only like Hefe Lights, and so it's like I'm kind of assed out if I'm drinking this fucking power chugging college kid fucking beer bullshit.
Listen, I will gladly, brand, send your stuff over. Unless you're a gambling ad, I'm good.
Unless you're a gambling app.
No, I will say this, like, I just fundamentally, like, dude, some of that shit, and dude, okay, I know this is a hockey podcast, but let's just go into this, dude. The betting shit that happened with the NBA, I call it the WNBA, the NBA,
Same thing.
with
Both girls.
with Rozier, and who was the
the coach.
Fucking, what was his name? Former player.
Yeah. Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey Billups, bald ass. I think when it comes down to it, dude, that makes the sports look even bad. It's one of these reasons why, like, this is one of the worries about this gambling shit. Now, let's be real. You know, we all heard about the old White Sox scandals back in the day. I'd be, like, blind to say, like, there wasn't some of that happening even today's game underneath the table. But I think promoting this gambling shit has made it just worse. And that's why I laugh, right? You know, like, what was it? Shane Pinto had the gambling issue, right? And then on his helmet is a gambling company that sponsors the Ottawa Senators.
That's fantastic.
I'm like, bro, like, the irony in that. I'm like, what did you expect when you're making gambling so prevalent in the sports scene? This is going to happen more. Because now you're going to have people like, oh, shit, like, man, if I just pull this shot or, I'm not feeling it tonight. For some reason, I have 2 left skates on. I think I don't know. I've always felt uncomfortable with promoting that because I think it's just going to make it worse and more prevalent. And it makes you question the integrity of sports overall when they lie in bed with these gambling companies. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I'm a degenerate gambler myself, so I can't say anything.
Damn. Scumbag. Dude,
hell yeah.
Yeah. So one of my buddies got mad at me when a video I made about it. It's like, anyone posts a scumbag? I was like, listen, listen, I shouldn't say it that way. I just wouldn't do it myself. I wouldn't promote the shit because I just like.
Oh no, I wouldn't promote it either. Now, do I like the occasional parlay? Absolutely.
Fair.
You know, I'm not gambling every night.
No.
I'll look at a game and I'll be like, all right. You know, and that's about it. That's about as far as I get. I'm not a degenerate gambler, although I do like to refer myself as one.
Well, he's gonna get his gambling on and sell his house. I'm gonna go out there and cry myself to sleep. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. We'll try to bring more live shows. I know, like, I don't really do live streams on this channel. Trying to bring it more, bring the energy, have some fun with it. This is a very laid-back stream. There's going to be cussing. There's going to be having a little bit of fun, a little bit of roasting players, roasting ourselves. It's not a dick. Don't take it so hard. Have some fun. And we'll see you in the next one.
Wow.
Now we're out of here.
Yeah, now we're out of here. We're like a